Good morning, February 7th. We are up in our game room. I was asked yesterday by a fellow who stopped by, how do I manage to put my ceiling boxes in so neatly and always in the channel or in the middle? And I said, well, that's kind of easy, but I'll tell you. So I'm going to tell you guys. I was taught a long time ago by an electrician. Best way to do it is leave yourself an extra foot or two or three of wire. So you're mounting your wire up above onto the trusses, but then where you think the box is going to go, leave yourself a bit extra. So you got right, left, forward, back, however you want to look at it, room to place it. So then what we do is I've got a 4 1/8 inch hole saw, and I mark the boxes, in location where I want them and drill them out. But these are the boxes I use. They work pretty good. Flip it over. They came from Menards. Come on, focus. They're decent boxes in some ways they suck. My suggestion and what I do with these boxes is I unscrew this off of them, drive this screw in, and just spin it with my cordless, my cordless drill, and which in turn cleans up the hole so the screw itself turns easy. Then this piece, I put a dab of oil. I happen to use just air tool oil because I can never use that big a bottle in my lifetime. I think I've had that for 20 years. One drip or two drips at a time in an air tool every day. You still don't go through the stuff. So, but by doing that, we'll allow these to slide or screw in very easily. Where if you don't, anybody who's messed with these things, they suck, they turn hard, they're a pain. But this is what we use. They're a 4-inch round receptacle box, ceiling box. Now, since we're putting up LED lighting that basically plugs in wherever it goes, it doesn't have a normal socket like a light. So you got to make something like so. Well, you can buy these pre-done with a nice true round face on them. Problem is they're like $8 to $12 depending on where you get them. So I sat back and went, what the heck? I can buy these for $1 at the local, big box store. I can buy these for like 59 cents, which that's what they normally look like. And it's for LED lighting. I'm not going to put more than 15 amps through them. So what I end up doing is getting a bunch of these covers, and there's the number of it. And I paint them white because, again, we have a white ceiling. I'll end up painting that box. Once everything is installed, I give it a touch up with spray paint. And I do use Fusion. That happens not to be, nope, that isn't Fusion, but usually it's Fusion paint. But, so then what we do to make our box, what costs us less than $1.50 for our cover, is I take this plug, I bend these tabs here off, which in turn gives me this nice little outlet. If you don't bend these tabs off and you just grab a hold of them and rock them back and forth and they'll snap off, and this is what you're breaking off. If you don't, if you go to try to put these in here, it just doesn't fit. So keep that in mind. That's why I break them off. Now, once you have broken them off, I buy a bunch of these screws, which are, your cover screws for your face plates. I wish this phone would focus in better. But then I just screw it in. Doobie-doobie-doo. But now I've got, for like $1.50, I've got the same thing that you could buy only in brown outlet for like $1.50 instead of $8-9. And when it's on here, everything fits beautifully. So that's how we put outlets or any of our receptacles in the ceilings that I've done now for, 15 years. It's a lot easier doing it that way, using these boxes and a 4-inch hole saw, than it is to sit here, mark out like you would drywall or whatever, find exactly where your hole is, hoping that you didn't end up having to, cut a ridge up, anything like that. They're always on the flats. This is the flat. It makes it really nice. But that's how we do it, or I do it. And again, making progress, slow progress in the game room. Have a good day, all.